What up? It's popping though. Gaggot greetings. Peace to the gods in the earth. Peace to the gods on earth. What up? It's a Gagutical math build. We about to go up. We about to go up. There's nowhere to go but up. See what I'm saying? A Gagutian. I'm a Gagutian. A Gagutian. What up? Peace and love to everybody in the room. Gaggot greetings. What's up, cool? What's going on? Yo, watch these Gagutian bars take over the booth. Got the sun, moon, and stars. It's really the roof. What up? Yo, this shit about to go up. Real rap. Gaggot greetings. Yo, I hope y'all ready. Like, get your pen, get your pad. Cause like, I do this shit all day, you know what I'm saying? But you might not really be privy to this level of conversation, but we about to go in. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm in my bag. Woo! Here you go. Here you go. I'm in my bag like a placenta. I entered Earth realm with the momentum of Hiroshima, Nagasaki, both of them mixed up. Deep, heavy, strapped down just like a Brinks truck. Boy, what? I wouldn't want to be ya. I see you when I see ya. It's God in the flesh, son, holy Nicaea. Hard to put together like I came from Ikea. And my flow's in the middle, something like diarrhea. I used to play the cut, Cohibo on the step. Now I play the books, got Oyibo on the text. I leave monster tracks like a T-Rex. And I used to flip birds, man, give me my respect. Numero uno, papi chulo, rico suave. Hola mami, dami culo. She be like Tabe, bicho on grande, loco la cabeza. Looking like comida, mami no inglesa. Used to trap hard with the tech on the dresser. Now I trap God in the flow, get you blessed up. Yo, I'm on some other lethal weapon, Danny Glover undercover, smack your baby mother, little brother, 6 Sawyer rubber grip, pop in another clip, off to the mothership. Woo! I'm blowing new breath in the game. I'm the respirator. Going up while I'm chilling like an escalator. They smile all in your face and disrespect you later. The backstabbers, the black magic, I was off, but now I'm back at it. Put you to sleep on the Craftmatic. Even James Brown no one static. Woo! What up? Peace and love to everybody, man. Yo, we about to go in. This is a Gagutical math presentation. This is part 2. Alright? So if you're looking for some nourishment, if you're looking for, you know, a late night snack, this is an intellectual sandwich. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna serve you up. Alright, so look. So we went on part 1. Hold up. This dumbass light. Hold up. Okay. So we went in on part 1 last night. Francis, what up, boy? Peace and love. Peace to the gods. Peace to the goddess. What up? Alright, so we went in on part 1 last night. And I think it went good. I think we laid down some good groundwork. And just real quick, let me give my shout outs. You know what I'm saying? I want to shout out all the Gagutians in the room. You know what I'm saying? My brother Francis, I see you in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm Annette, I see you in there. Egyptian goddess, I see you in there. My brother Cool, he's in there. And what it is recognizing who we really are. It's recognizing our status. And not everybody can think Gagutically. And I'm just thankful for everybody's in the room who understands what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Nani, what up? Peace to the goddess. And, you know, I want to give a shout out to all my family at Carbonation. I want to give a shout out to the chief. My brother Solar was in here building with me yesterday. And he definitely hit me up. And I'm about to get into my astrology like real heavy. And, you know, for those of you who might be new to me, like, I tend to break shit down. I'm a Virgo, so I like to break things down, like, you know, like I just got a different way of thinking and seeing the universe, you know what I'm saying? So, it's funny how people say They don't mess with astrology. You know, they're not really into astrology. But yet you call Sunday, Sunday. Not knowing that you're recognizing the sun. Not knowing that that was reserved for acknowledgement of the sun. Furthermore, that's the same day that church is on. And they claim to represent Jesus, which is the sun, S-O-N, but really it's the S-U-N. It's the S-U-N. It's the sun. That's why their worship is on Sunday. Then we got Monday, Moon Day. Monday is for the moon. Monday, the moon. So Sunday, Monday, or Moon Day. Then Tuesday, which is Twi or Twa, and that was the Greek goddess of the earth, of green, of grass, of shrubbery, of plants. That was the green goddess, and that will be analogous to Geb in Kemetic legacy, or Egyptian legacy. So okay, so Sunday is for the sun, Moon Day or Monday is for the moon, then Tuesday is for the earth, Twi, Twa, Twi or Twa, that's Tuesday, Twi or Twa. Then Wednesday, which is today, Wednesday is Woden or Odin. Odin is Thor's father. Odin is also Mercury. Mercury, that's why they call it Hump Day, because you're getting over the hump. You go to the top. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday bring you to the top. Then Wednesday is Mercury. That's movement. That's Mercury. That's why your Mercury tells your movement, how you move. So Woden or Odin is Wednesday. Wednesday is Woden or Odin, which is Mercury, and he happened to be Thor's father in Greek mythology. But Thor is Thursday. Thursday is Thor, but Thor is analogous to Jupiter. Then Thor's mother is Frigga, or Frigga, which is Friday, Frigga, which is Venus. That's why they say girls just want to have fun. That's why we do on Friday. We figure it up. We didn't figure it out on Friday. That's what Friday is. Friday represents the Venus, that Venus in it. So then Saturday, Saturday is Saturn. That's why they only have football games on Sunday. Sometimes Monday, Thursday, definitely. You know what I'm saying? And this is why things are structured the way it is. This is why you go to church on Sunday. It's because that energy is permeating. That energy is what governs how we move. It's cosmic epigenetics. It's astrology. You see what I'm saying? So my astrology game about to get heavy. And I want to shout out my brother Solar. He definitely helped me out and sparked me a little bit with my astrology. So I'm about to get in on that real heavy. Real heavy. But let's continue on these mathematics, because there's mathematics in that also. But right now we're going to keep it to where I'm strongest at, so I can break this shit down real quick. So we went on yesterday about the origin of numbers, just a little bit, and it's still more, you know what I'm saying, because what it really is geometry. Geometry is the father or the mother of these numbers. Numbers, arithmetic, originally came out of geometry. Geometry is the study of shapes. It's the study of shapes. You see what I'm saying? Oh, happy birthday to the queen, to the goddess. What up? That's how many times you've been around the sun, or the sun has been around you, whichever way you want to look at it, because, we ain't judging. We ain't even going there right now, because people going like, yo, flat earth people hit me up all crazy. Jesus people hit me up all crazy. Like, I have a bunch of people that hit me up, like, all crazily. And, like, I'm telling you, like, all day, I'm battling. Like, I'm going to war all day. Like, this shit is wild. But, what we're going to talk about is going to be something that's infallible. Infallible truths. What we call theorems. You know what I'm saying? Theorems. Infallible truths. So, this is something that can't be argued. You know what I mean? And I just want to unpack it a little bit. We might even got to do another part, like part 3, maybe even a part 3 and a part 4. I'm not really sure yet, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how we can unpack this. So first, let me do a recap from yesterday, what we went over yesterday. And if anybody got any comments or anything to add, or maybe some questions from yesterday, if you was here yesterday, or even if you just coming in today, if you got something to just stop, just say something. I tend not to read my comments And that's why I usually have somebody go live with me so they can read the comments, because if I start reading comments, then I'm just start answering questions and I'll get sidetracked like crazy. And as well as giving shouts out and acknowledging my family in Carbonation, I also want to give a shout out to Professor Gabriel Oyibo, the OFABIT Institute. Professor Oyibo, if you're not sure about who he is, he's the greatest mathematician on earth. And I feel privileged and honored to be in direct contact with him. I spoke with him today, like I speak with the professor in the OFABIT Institute every day. If there's anybody that want to make that connection with me, you want to join in on the conference call, definitely hit me up. I see my man Francis in there. Francis, definitely hit me up. We already connected. Yo, we got to do a recap too, Francis, so hit my line when you get a chance, and I'll give you another briefing, because I attend the briefings. I'm enrolled in the class, so I go every week, every month. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in steady contact with Ground Zero, the OFABIT Institute, the home of Gaga, intellectual home of Professor Gabriel Yibo, the greatest mathematician on earth. So I feel so privileged to be able to take this information, break it down, digest it, and give it back to somebody. So I appreciate everybody for being in the room. And this is not common talk for people who look like me. You know what I'm saying? It's not common for people who look like me to sit down and break down quantum physics to you, to sit down and break down geometry to you, and algebra, where these things all come from. The golden mean, the fingerprint of God, like all of these things are something that's not common for us to talk about, especially with people who look like me. You know what I'm saying? So I think about everything I've been through, man, and not just me, we. You know what I'm saying? I think about Trayvon Martin. I think about Sandra Bland. I think about Mike Brown and Tamir Rice. I think about the people that I knew personally that I watched die. I had friends die in 6th grade. I was in the 6th grade, and some of my friends were killed in the 6th grade. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that all of that is because of ignorance. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just because of ignorance. It's because we've been starved intellectually. We've been encouraged to be drug dealers. We've been encouraged to be athletes and rappers and singers, but we haven't been encouraged to be the true intellectuals that we are. The founders of these sciences known as geometry, algebra, arithmetic, quantum physics, chemistry, astrology. All of these things originated from heavy melanated beings that look just like me. So why now, when we go into neighborhoods that are filled with people who look just like me, we're not looking for that. We're looking for some type of scandal, some type of, some drama, and this shit is crazy. But I digress. Let me get back on track, because this shit is real, it's real. You know what I'm saying? We got such a wonderful time to be alive. In this time and space, we really are the leaders of the new school right now. You know what I mean? So, let me unpack a little bit of what we went over with yesterday. And, I didn't think I was going to get emotional, but, this shit is really deep, man. For real. Let me get my organic laptop together. If you do got your laptop, your organic laptop, you know what I'm saying, pull it out, because I'm going to go over some notes, and I'm going to give you some things you can go off. And, alright, I'm going to just start, because I be all over the damn place, and sometimes I don't know where to start, but I'm going to just start. Alright, so, yesterday we was talking about numbers, because, this is mathematics, you know what I'm saying? So it's part 2. So we was talking about numbers, and the way that we're educated, we're kind of educated as backwardly. We're educated in the way that we just remember shit and regurgitate it. We don't really we don't have a full understanding of what we know. We just remember shit and recite it. And you get graded, you get rewarded on how well you can recite shit. So we don't have a full comprehension of what we're actually ingesting. We just remember it, then recite it. Then you get awarded for how well you can recite, regurgitate some shit that somebody computed in you. But the real education is to bring out of you intelligence, because intelligence is measured by our DNA. But being as though we can go to school, we can go to the hospital, we can go to the doctor, and we're constantly given toxic shit to damage our DNA from our environment, from the foods that we eat, from the water that we drink, even from just shit that we don't see, like the electromagnetic radiation that comes off of these devices that surround us. If you don't have any diodes in your house, get a couple diodes. I can't pull out mine right now because it's like under my fucking TV. But yeah, like those things, you know, protect you from the EMF, and you know, like those, it's bad for your biology. And I'm gonna go into that too. I'm gonna go into that. If we find some time, I'm gonna go into that too, because the shit is real deep. And there's mathematics to everything. Like I'm working on another presentation now, and it's going to be involving the mathematics of veganism, and I want to break down the mathematics of veganism, and I think it's going to be very powerful. I've been talking to the professor with this, and he's kind of been helping me out, you know, to fully understand it. I got to fully understand something before I say it, because I got some of the most critical people on the damn internet in my DM. Yo, I got some of the most critical people in my DM, like crazy. You know what I'm saying? So we want to go in on this, and you know, I just want to make it smooth. So if somebody understands something, you know what I mean? Yo, what's the first formula? Not G-I-J, comma J, the N-J. Okay, bang. See, I'm glad somebody's in here on the level. Yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate that question. What you're talking about is A to sub N of infinity. A to sub N is the formula that represents intelligence, and the N within that formula is designed to represent the level of intelligence. And God has blessed the creator. The universe has blessed Professor Oyibo with that N to be designed as infinity. Now, since black people share genes with Professor Gabriel Oyibo, this means that the universe, aka God, has defined us with an N of infinity. See, oh man, A to sub N is, you're gonna take us off of the subject. You're gonna take us off of the whole like subject matter for this conversation. But we can have a separate dialogue if you want to break down A to sub N. A to sub N of intelligence. That's the formula that represents intelligence. Hit me up and we can go in on it. Like you got to hit me up separately. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna get me sidetracked from the whole presentation. I was just sitting here for like the past 2 hours making sure I could get this shit down pat. You know what I'm saying? But I'll definitely touch in on that. We might could go live tomorrow afternoon or something like that if you want to do it that way, or if you want to just hit me up. You know, I would have no problem breaking that down to you. You know what I'm saying? Because like I had an issue with that too. Because I'm like, you know, explain this to me, and the math is so crazy. Like, look, I have a Gaggut book right here. Right? I have a Gaggut book right here. And I've been blessed to get this book, right? Real rap. This is a blessing right here. Oh, my brother Duncan is here. Okay, let's see what's up with him. Yeah. And the mathematics in it is staggering. Like, it's staggering. If you want, I can show you real quick, just to give you a peek on what we're talking about, and how detailed it really is. Let me show you real quick. And if you really want to go there, like we could go there, but it's not going to be easy, bro. It's not going to be easy. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Something wrong with my joint. I'm trying to bring my brother in. Hold on. So this is the type of math that we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, this is not this conversation we're having tonight. Because if we go here tonight, then it's going to take us a long way. You see what I'm saying? So I can give you 8 to sub N. I can give you that. There's no problem. But a lot of this is very, 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 very like it's on another level, man. You know what I'm saying? But we could go in on it. Just hit me up. And Harmony, you were sending me a request? That's my brother. All right. I just want to recap from yesterday real quick, and then we'll start building. Yo, what up, though?
Peace and love, what's popping?
Yeah, Gaggut greetings, man. What up? Peace.
Gaggut greetings.
Yeah. All right, so I just need your help to with any comments or anything, you know what I'm saying, that might need to be addressed. Give me some feedback, talk black to me, and help me to show people some things, some different sources. Um, and you already know we got a lot of this stuff up on the YouTube channel already. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
everybody go
Yeah.
everybody go subscribe to the YouTube channel, man. We got probably a good 20 hours, more than 20 hours, probably 30 hours of content on there. Like, it's building quick. Like we're not slowing down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's also sources. It's sources in there. Like,
Yeah.
I source a lot of the material that we get because a lot of the sources come handed down to me from the professor,
Right.
and I have no choice but to share that information. You know what I'm saying? So, we were talking about numbers, right? Numbers,
Yeah.
and numbers come really from geometry.
Yeah.
Geometry. Geometry gives us arithmetic. Arithmetic comes from geometry, the study of shapes. So ask yourself, why does one look like that? Why does two look like the way two looks? Why does three look the way three looks? Why does four, five? Why do these numbers have the geometric shapes that they do have? When
Mm-hmm.
you look at things like Roman numerals, a fucking five is a V. How does that relate to five? Like, how does that relate to five? If you're doing anything, you have to know what it is before you actually do it.
Right.
You like say you're gonna cook some mac and cheese. You're not just gonna go in the kitchen just make mac and cheese. No, first you're gonna actually, you know, study how to do this shit. If not from looking at some videos or something, you're gonna talk to somebody. You've seen it done. Like it's already done before you do it. You see what I mean? So the Roman numeral system does not relate to anything natural. It does not. This is something that they've adopted and assigned it to different geometric shapes, like a V to mean
Mm-hmm.
5, like X to mean 10. You can't explain to me how the hell an X means 10. You can't explain to me how a L means 50. In Roman numerals, a L is 50. You know what I'm saying? In Roman numerals, a damn C is 100. This has no relationship to the natural world. This is something that was co-opted. So we can tell you that Roman numerals is not the origin of numbers.
Right.
Numbers did not come from the Roman numerical system. You know, we could go even further back. Like we can go back. Like we can go back thousands and thousands of years ago. And people who look like me, people who look like you, were the ones who were building these foundations on these sciences like arithmetic, geometry,
Hey, they didn't
algebra,
actually look like us, man. They were very, very, very
darker,
melanated people. Very, very,
even
very
darker,
dark, like blue, black.
even darker. And yo, that reminds me, did you get that melanin dosage test?
I'll pull that up right now.
Yeah, pull that up and let me build on that real quick. I'm just saying end meaning infinity. Yeah, it's all good. Just hit me up and we'll build on that. I'm just talking to the brother in the comments. We'll build on that. And Nubian is not an ancient term either. Like a lot of these things that these terms that we use are new school compared to the people that we're applying them to. You know what I'm saying? Like we were just talking about that, and we were talking about the Gala people, the Gala lands. And like this shit is deep. Like we about to go deep real quick. And I want to make sure I give the sources just for anybody who want to go ahead and do the due diligence. And don't believe me. Like don't believe me. Don't believe nothing I tell you. Don't believe nothing nobody tell you. You look it up. We in the information age. There's nothing you can't find. Like in the abundance of water, only a fool is thirsty. You see what I'm saying? So it don't take you nothing to look it up. And we're gonna give sources so that you can look it up. Like I don't want nobody believing in me. You know what I'm saying? I want you to know. Knowledge. The root word of knowledge is know. So we want to know God. We don't want to believe in God. We want to know the truth. We won't want to believe what the fuck the truth is. We want to really know. You know what I'm
Right. So I
saying?
think I feel like with these builds that we're doing this three series I think we're gonna be doing these three parts is basically you know showing mathematically, proving mathematically that black people, melanin dominant people are the most advanced people, intellectually, physically, spiritually, in every way. Correct?
I would have to concur. And not just that, we are the human expression of God.
Right.
We're going to verify what God is, who God is, what God is. This takes us out of belief. You know what I'm saying? When we're dealing with belief, we're dealing with theology. Theology comes from theory. Theory is theology. This is a belief. This is a system of belief. We're taking it out of theology and we're going into the realm of theorem. Theorems are mathematical truths, built on truths, built on top of truths, built on some more truth. So we're taking this out of a realm of belief to a realm of knowledge. You know what I mean? So we don't gotta deal with belief no more.
So I
We
got
just
I
deal
got the
with knowledge.
melanin dosage test article
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
by Kia Masha. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what you wanted me to show
Let
about
me
the
let me see.
test.
Let us see. Let us see. We're gonna go in on this real quick. So, just as an abstract,
Like
is that the
it's a big ass, long ass fucking article
yeah.
about the test. Like, what did you want me to
You'll go
present?
all the way to the top of it,
Yeah,
because it looks different on the mobile than it does on the desktop.
yeah,
Okay. Okay, now what we're looking at real quick is a melanin dosage test by Sheikh Anta Diop, one of the
right.
world's best anthropologists, a black man, of course, a Senegalese man. And what happened was he was dealing with these European Egyptologists who was always trying to make Egyptians white people. Even today, when you look at any movie referencing ancient Egypt or Kemet, that's Sheikh
Hmm.
Anta Diop right there. And those some of his books. I got that red book, the African Civilizations, is really deep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And no, people didn't sprout from the Gala people. The Gala people, look, you're gonna sidetrack me. I got you though. We'll address that. So what happened was Sheikh Anta Diop challenged all of these European Egyptologists that, you know, these mummies and these civilizations were not made
Oh,
by
right.
European people. They were not made
Okay.
by European people. All these people were black. This was Sheikh Anta
Right.
Diop was saying. You know what I'm saying? And they wanted to challenge him to a debate at UNESCO. And he showed up to the debate with another brother named Theophilo Obanga. And what Sheikh Anta Diop did is he made a test. He invented a test because he was also a nuclear physicist. He invented a
Hmm.
test called the melanin dosage test. And he took mummies from, I believe it was Ramses and Seti the First. These were all mummies that were left over from believed to be the 18th dynasty and the 19th dynasty. And he ran his melanin dosage test on them, and he saw that the and this was so heavy about what the work that they did was when the mummification process that they did, it preserved the epidermis and the dermis so that they can actually look at the cells in the melanocytes and count them. And we all know that melanin is what gives us our pigmentation. And I did this lesson with my daughter when we was at the park. And, you know, I'm in the north right now. I'm in Philly. And there was a bunch of leaves fell on the ground. And the leaves came from this tree. And the tree, one of the leaves you could still see was a little green on it. And it was also faded, a little yellow, a little brown. So I showed her how chlorophyll is to the leaf what melanin is to people. In the absence of the sun, when the sun went further away, the chlorophyll turned caused the leaf to turn a different color, to turn lighter. It it was sensitive to light. So melanin is sensitive to light. It's sensitive to light. So in the absence of the sun, our skin gets lighter. This is what Sheikh Anta Diop showed with the melanin dosage test. when he used this melanin dosage test on the mummies, because their skin, the mummification process left the melanocytes undamaged, he was able to count the melanocytes and determine that those mummies were even darker than we are today. No way could they have been from European descent. No way could these have been light-skinned, European-looking people. No way. It's physiologically, biologically impossible. These were the descendants of, these are our descendants. These are our ancestors. These were melanated beings. So all of the technologies that was developed in these ancient societies that everybody marvel over today is literally held inside of our DNA right now. Inside of our DNA is the DNA of the pyramid builders right now. And this was proven in the 1970s by Sheikh Anta Diop with the melanin dosage test. Now we know through inherited epigenetics that we inherit traits. Like, you ever hear somebody say, oh, you sound just like your father, or you look just like your father, or you look like your mother, or you act like this person. And then you ever see the shit like in real time? I've seen it in real time. I was at my grandmother's house, and she showed me a picture of her and my grandfather when they was like in their 30s. They was young bucks. And I looked exactly like my grandfather. It blew my mind. I'm like, yo, is that me? It was my grandfather. Like, you know, so our DNA expresses what's been handed down to us. You know what I'm saying? So this shit is real crazy. So now that we know, and this is something that's been buried, like this information is this shit has been buried. You know what I'm saying? This has been like, nobody really wants us to pay attention to this shit. You know what I'm saying? So our DNA measures our intelligence. Our DNA measures our intelligence. So the trick is to get us to damage our own DNA. So you don't have to worry about what we do or what we cultivate, because we've damaged our intelligence, which is our DNA. This is why we have the poison in the air. This is why we have the poison in the food. This is why we have toxic ass music. We're the only people who listen to music and promote music that all day long up and down the radio talk about killing each other. Oh, kill a nigga, I'll pull out of this and kill a nigga and do this, that. We're the only people who do this type of self-destruction. And you got to figure why. Who stands to gain? Who stands to gain? The people whose DNA can never match, the people whose DNA can never catch up, can never catch up. And we know this via the nuclear diversity, the nuclear DNA diversity in human populations ascertainment done by Yale University. But hold on, this is another topic. Let me stay with the mathematics. Because we're going to go all over the place. So Sheikh Anta Diop proved this in the 70s. Now we can keep going into this and further dig out what exactly we have. And what we have is the intelligence of the pyramid builders laying dormant inside of our body.
Right.
Laying dormant inside of our DNA. And what stops that is us damaging our DNA. It's us damaging our DNA. So this is why things like eating plant-based foods and grounding and meditating and getting natural water and even growing your own food sometimes is looked at as taboo. You know what I'm saying? It's looked at as taboo. People like Dr. Sebi, Nipsey Hussle, Dr. Laela Africa, Dick Gregory, a lot of holistic practitioners were not even just killed, but silenced, their work buried. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Delbert Blair, a lot of his work has been buried. Even our own Professor Gabrielle Oyibo, the information is buried. And it's because this will awaken the genius, the God
and
that
on
lies
that, brother,
inside of you.
And on that, are you a businessman? Would you say you're a businessman?
Yeah.
Everybody's a business person, right? Everybody's a true entrepreneur, because entrepreneurship is just, finding out, what you're made of, right? And that's what life is. Okay, so in business, can anyone in the room right now, we got 15 people, can anyone in the room tell me what the best method of marketing is? If you know it, don't say it. But anyone in the room, can you answer that question? What is the best method of marketing?
Yo, shout out to Lord the Kulu in the room. That's my brother Cor. I'm glad you stopped by, brother. That's my man right there.
Referrals. So yeah, the best method of marketing in business is word of mouth. The best ever method of marketing, period, is word of mouth. Okay, and we can do a similar version of that on our devices here, but it's not the same because somebody is in control of when you see it, where you see it, and when you see it, how you see it, when you see it, and where you see it. So they're able to alter the content that you consume, right? But if you have word of mouth, it cannot be destroyed because that's God in action. You know what I mean? This internet is truly, I believe it's a creation of the evil, right? So it's definitely something that we can utilize, but it's definitely not something we can rely on. You know what I'm saying? We need to really tap into each one reach many, the Gagutian movement of each one reach many, where you actually go out and speak with others and get them on this frequency and get them to follow this page and get them to come into the lives. Like, you really need to do the due diligence and actually reach out. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And share the video, like right now. Share the video. Because a lot of times they even block the videos. Like a lot of times they'll block the live. Like, and I'll go to save it and I can't even save it. You know what I'm saying? So I can't even judge when that's going to happen. Like, we can't even tell. We'll just be going live and we think everything good. Then I go to save the video and upload it and I can't even save it. You know what I'm saying? So this type of shit happens every day. You know what I mean? So just
and the reason I said that is it's not actually the reason I said that, but off of that, we were talking about genetics too, correct?
Absolutely.
And epigenetics and the selection of genes and how the environment affects it and how the subconscious mind actually, I believe the subconscious mind is in control of the genetic readout, right? So what your subconscious mind consumes and brings in is going to determine the readout of the gene. So you see these things like non-GMO, USDA organic, and I think like this is like almost backwards. Like, you got to think like half the fruit we eat today is actually genetically spliced. You know what I mean?
Yo, listen, don't even touch that subject though, because that's going to go into, you're going to have me segue into the mathematics of veganism.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But what I'm saying is, like, being that we share genetics with the pyramid builders, we should be the ones actually modifying the genes of ourselves and the food we eat. We can enhance the food. Like, look at the hornet. The hornet is a honeybee and an ant genetically spliced together. The fuck does a hornet even do? The hornet has like pretty much no purpose in nature. You know what I mean? That I'm aware of. You know what I mean?
He's equivalent to the predators. You know what I'm saying? He's equivalent to a lion in the Sahara. You know what I'm saying? And he's just there to take out the weak cells. You know what I mean? That's what predators are. That's what meat eaters are. Meat eaters are designed to take out the weak ones on the prairie. They're out to take the weak population. Like the lion, that's why we know we're not supposed to eat meat when the animals is because they're designed to take out the weak ones. Like they don't get the young buck that's on top of his game and fast and agile. They don't get him. They get the old sick motherfucker. They get the little baby that's left unattended. Like they get the weak ones. Like that's what they're designed to do.
Hey, and on the note of predators, right? You can't forget. That's us right there. You ever seen the movie Alien vs. Predator? We are the predator, man. We are the superior. We are here to.
That's why we got locks. That's the first alien with locks you ever seen.
For real. We are the superior. We are the ones who are here to remove and separate the strong from the weak. And that's who we are. intellectually.
Oh,
You know what I mean? That's
somebody asked the question. They said, can we please get into why they bury this information and why non-melanated people first? Well, it's not that they fear us per se, and it's not all of them. It's some people who want to cling on to the illusion of power that they have. You know what I'm saying? And our ancestors peeped this a long time ago. That's why they encrypted the information in a way that not everybody can interpret it. You know what I'm saying? And they still misinterpret the information. You know what I mean? Still to this day. And it's because they lack the intellectual enzymes to digest it. But what they're actually doing is they're hurting
What is
everybody.
intellectual enzymes?
Yeah, we're talking about DNA. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about DNA because your DNA is what measures your intelligence. Your intelligence is measured by your DNA. But look, let me go back in. Let me go back in because we was getting on these numbers and this math, and I don't want to get stagnated. Okay.
Absolutely.
Just keep me on track. Keep me on track. Keep me on track because you know I can segue. All right. So yesterday we was building on the numbers, and people would think Roman numerals is older. You know what I'm saying? No power. That's right. That's right. Who's that? Spaz King of Chaos? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I agree with you 100%. Shout out to my brother Shane in the room too. What up? All right, so Roman numerals is not where numbers come from. Even if you look at Roman numerals, you know, 5 is fucking V. How the hell is that like how does it even mean V? You can't even break it down when you look at it. It's just a V. They just associated V with 5. They appropriated, you know, the number 5 and attached it to the V and associated with the V. So this is not where the numbers system came from that we know. And let me just show you something real quick. Numbers are geometry. Numbers came from geometry. Like, look at this line. This is just linear arithmetic. This line is a geometrical shape, right? It's a geometrical shape. So you ever think, why is 1 shaped like 1? Why is 1 shaped like that? Why does a 1 look like that? Well, a 1 is shaped like that because 1, right, the number 1 is 1 angle. 1 angle. Can you see that? It's like my focus is off a little bit. I don't know what that is about. All right, but 1 is 1 angle. 2 is 2 angles. 3 is 3 angles. 4 is going to give you 4 angles, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is going to give you 5 angles. And you see 5 had the unk on it.
Because it's in the middle.
Because it's directly in the middle. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 angles. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 angles. 7.
And you know what to do with number 9. You know what to do with number 9.
Oh, the Flipsky. 7 angles. 8.
Now, I want everyone in the room to think, like, what is this, us learning this,
8
doing
angles.
to us epigenetically? We're learning what our ancestors knew, activating specific genes within us.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 angles. All right. 9 angles. And it just so happens that 0 has how many angles? 0 angles. You see what I'm saying? So numbers came from geometry. Geometry and the angles. The angles are angels. The angles are angels. That's why the first ever angel was illustrated by a black woman named Ma'at. From Ma'at, we get math. Ma'at came from the civilization of the Ma civilization, which is the oldest and original civilization in Africa, of the Melanites, of the mathematicians, of the great.
You want me to pull up that video of Ohibo speaking about the Ma civilization?
Oh, you keep going on that. That'll be beautiful.
Want me to pull that up real quick? I actually have a post ready to go up. Pull that up right now.
So this will be the positive, right? Then
and
it will be the negative.
Right above that, line, that not that line, but that line you got there. Put above that the mathematical formula, the theorem. Put above that the theorem. And you can see it's a direct reflection of 0 to 9. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Either way.
Because everything comes from no thing, which is 0. But yeah, I just want to show you everybody this video real quick of Ohibo himself speaking about the Ma civilization.
The Ma civilization, which came before all that. The world had known us to be the superior, the most superior of all races.
And everybody, you got to really listen. This is his accent's a little hard sometimes to understand. Just listen.
And they described that with the word civilization. They called us the cradle of the civilization, cradle where civilization began, meaning we showed intelligence. Civilization in the real sense means a display of intelligence in terms of practical and even non-practical in some cases that convinces your opponent you are superior. Your mind works better. In fact, the military is supposed to be an aspect of that, because if you could design a gun that will force the enemy to, for fear of his life, surrender, to say, look, you are better. Although it may be temporary, but for that moment, you have prevailed, okay? Because of your mind. You have a gun, and he doesn't have a gun. Now, for the black people, their mind is so superior that even without the gun, they still prevailed. They still prevail, which is the model of God. God doesn't need a gun. God doesn't need a bomb. But God prevails. So that's the model that the black people had pursued. But it's modeled after God. Yeah, which is the ultimate, really. So...
Ooh, that was heavy.
But yeah, what he's basically saying is that civilization came from us. We are the original creators of civilization. Therefore, we are the superior because we actually created civilization. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Spaz King of Chaos hit it right on the head before we even finished the whole damn before we even finished the video, he was hitting on that. And that's exactly right, yo. Big facts. Big facts. So this is why we need to understand that we created mathematics. We discovered this, and we have to build on top of that. We have to build on top of that greatness. And the first thing we need to do is to resurrect that genius that lies dormant inside of us. But we're not doing that when we're subjecting ourselves to the compulsory education, to public school, even to the major universities that we know that's out here, because none of them has a course on Gaga. None of them is talking to this man, the Professor Oyibo. None of them are thinking Gagutically. What they're doing is they're just getting us to remember some shit and then regurgitate it. And you get rewarded on how well you can remember some shit and then regurgitate it. But if
But then
somebody
again,
is
don't
telling you,
forget, that's still good because that's still good if it's for your people because they're
but it's not.
regurgitating their, you know what I mean?
But it's
They're
not.
regurgitating their
Yeah,
story.
that's the problem. That's the problem. It's not.
Right.
It's some bullshit. You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
if we regurgitate,
So
if we keep regurgitating, we keep doing repetitions like this, and we actually create institutions, we actually create places where we can teach this and regurgitate it, that's a good thing. They're doing the right
yeah, but
thing,
we
but we're
start
just going
right
to make
here.
it better. You know what I mean?
We start right here, right now. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So geometry. Geometry is the study of shapes. All right?
G.
Geometry is everything, because everything that has shapes is geometry, is geometrical. Even if we're talking about, say, a fish has a shape. We're talking about a person has a shape. A lion, it has a shape. The reason why you can observe it is because it has a shape. The reason why you can measure it is because it has a shape. And those shapes can be broken down into degrees. Just like this number line. We can break this, like we're saying that this is a unit of 1. We can break that unit down into half. We could even break that unit further down into a quarter, into a third, into a fourth. You see what I'm saying? But that's still 1 unit, and that unit could not be measured if it had not been for this geometrical line. You see what I'm saying? Even the 1 itself is geometry. You know what I'm saying? So Gagut has been defined as a geometrical dynamic. A geometrical dynamic. Descriptive. You know what I'm saying? So we're taking this out of just basing it off theory. We're getting it into theorem. You know what I'm saying? So with geometry being defined as shape, the study of shapes, right? Now, shapes for what? Shapes for the unified field theorem, aka the universe, aka God. You see what I'm saying? So this is the mind. This is God talk right now. Like we're really about to go deep, and I'm thankful for everybody in here. Get a pen and paper, write this shit down because you know I've been studying this shit for a little bit, and it's like it's a lot. We're just slowly unpacking this shit right now. All right. So geometric. It's a geometric view of the universe, or AKA God. You see what I'm saying? So arithmetic came out of geometry, and geometry also birthed algebra. Algebra. See, they want to tell you that some Arabs invented algebra. No, because we know that in algebra, right? In algebra, you have variables. Variables like this: A plus B equals C, correct? Now, in geometry, what's the most popular shape that you study in geometry?
The triangle?
The triangle.
The pyramid?
But we call it a pyramid, right? Triangle, a pyramid. It's really one side of a pyramid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So with that one side of the pyramid, the triangle is known as the most perfect geometrical shape, the perfect geometry. You know what I'm saying? And it's known as that because of famous people like Pythagoras, the Pythagorean theorem. You see what I'm saying? And how can the Pythagorean theorem be given to Pythagoras? You know what I'm saying? And just like we talked about, with something as trivial as making some damn mac and cheese, you can't just go in there and just make some mac and cheese. Just because you want mac and cheese, you just can't make mac and cheese. Well, you could try. It's probably going to be trash, though. You have to really do some research. So our ancestors who built these pyramids, they just didn't just run into the desert and just throw some fucking bricks and some rocks together in the shape of a pyramid. No, they studied it. They studied the geometry. They studied the mathematics of it. They studied it for years and years and years. And this is what also led to the observation being made by people like what's this guy's name? Graham. Oh, let me write it down for you so you can look it up.
Yo, what's this nigga doing? What's this nigga Immortal Master Chief in here, dude? Who's this nigga?
Don't worry about that. So Graham Hancock. Look this up.
Graham Hancock.
Yeah. Hancock. This is a book he wrote, Fingerprints of the Gods. Fingerprints of the Gods. All right. Graham Hancock, Fingerprints of the Gods. That's right. 8 sides. You're right about that. And the reason why they said it's 8 sides is because of this. It's because of this 90-degree angle. So this is what we find in algebra with the A plus B equals C. A plus B equals C is going to be, say, if this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this has got to be 90 degrees. You see that? Because the 4 and the 5 is going to equal 90. Like, it just is what it is. So, when they put, and this is what they dedicate to Pythagoras. But this was there before Pythagoras was even born. Before Pythagoras was even born, this shape was there. But then they credit this to Pythagoras. Yeah, so that book by Graham Hancock, The Fingerprints of the Gods, when he actually went to Egypt, he went to Kemet to view these structures for himself, to check out what this civilization was doing. He said, no way did human beings build this. These were built by the gods. Because we are that close. We are the universe expressing itself when we're at our best, without our DNA being damaged, without our cells being genetically modified. At our best, we are expressions of the universe, and this information comes through us. This comes through us without having a template to use. Like we talked about Roman numerals, how a V is 5. You know what I'm saying? A V is 5 because they already had the number 5. They just attached it and associated it with a V and got people to memorize it. They don't even know why they writing the fucking V as 5. They just memorized it and regurgitated the shit. We don't need that type of scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need it. It's because when we're at our best, we can bring in divine information through our beings. It's like a car having a clean antenna. You know what I'm saying? Your antenna all fucked up and rusty. You're not going to pick up a good signal. You know what I'm saying? When you're farther away from the tower, you're not going to pick up a good signal. You see what I'm saying? So they much rather give the credit to some goddamn aliens or some mythological beings rather than give it to the gods right now on Earth. You see what I'm saying?
Hey,
that's
man,
why I like to say, come the Lords.
That's another thing I was going to bring up. Being that we understand we don't come from monkeys because monkeys still exist, right?
Check.
And what separates us from the monkeys is the amount of polymorphisms, which is the amount of intelligence strands of DNA.
Check.
Okay, so we're separate from monkeys, right?
Check.
Understanding that African people have 28 polymorphisms and all other races have 19. Would that mean that all other races are completely separate from Africans?
Well, that's a complicated question, and you're going to take us off of geometry to deal with geography. I'm not opposed to it, but right. I think we should do that at a different time. But I'm definitely willing to go in because it's inside of Gaga. It's definitely inside of Gaga.
You said that they're saying that some aliens made this, like the Anunnaki made the pyramids or whoever made the pyramids, right? But they are the aliens of the planet because you can see what they're doing to the planet, right?
They listen.
But yeah, definitely not going down that.
That's a very good observation right there. But I wouldn't say it like that. I would see it like if we're talking about an underdeveloped human being, we're talking about a child.
Right.
This is analogous to a child. And much like children, they behave very selfishly, not caring about the overall conclusion for everybody.
Right. The all.
This is why they cut down trees when we need air to breathe.
Yeah.
This is why they poison the water, knowing goddamn well we all need the water.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a very simple answer to what we need to do, and it's already happening. It's literally already happening. This is why we're waking up right now, because we were talking about things like melanin, how melanin is a living chemical compound that synthesizes light and takes that information, which is light from the sun, and evenly disperses it through our body. Our melanin is what allows us to tap into our dream world, into the none, where anything and everything can exist at. When you go to sleep and you have these fantastic dreams, it's because your pineal gland, your first eye, is bathed in melanin. It's bathed in this living neurochemical compound that allows you to access higher realms of thought, higher realms of being. This melanin was always there. This melanin was always there, doing what it's supposed to be doing during the transatlantic slave trade, during the plantation, during the goddamn pyramid building. It was always there doing the same thing. But why now is our melanin being activated? Why now? Like, is it just because we know these things? I would think not, because melanin, the concept, the very concept, existed in ancient Kemet. In hieroglyphics, melanin was pronounced Kim-wur. Kim-wur. K-E-M or K-M word, W-R. Kim-wur is the word for melanin. I wish I had my Middle Nature book. I don't have my Middle Nature book with me right now, but I can show you. I'll show you, Dunk, and we'll build on that later. But these concepts always existed. Mm-hmm.
Since we're getting a little bit off topic, and we're actually on this topic, we're on here with melanin in the pineal gland. Do you have that illustration where you can show, why we go live at this time?
Oh, you know what? I got it, man, but I don't want to pull on that poster. Hold up, let me see if I got. I think I got it.
After the build, you should show everybody why we go live at the time we go live. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I got that John with me, man.
But after we finish this up,
I'll make a post if I can't find it. But
it's definitely heavy, man. It's definitely important to understand, especially this time of the year. When the sun goes down earlier, you know what I mean, and it gets colder, right? Many of the people in the room are not in the tropics, so it's important for them to understand this.
Yeah, and understanding is the first step. You know what I'm saying? To know what the fuck is going on and know what we should do. You know what I'm saying? So what was it? Yeah. So this melanin, this living chemical compound that survives in every living thing, that gives everything structure and lays down the blueprint on which matter can even bind on. This melanin has always been doing what it's supposed to be doing. So now that it's like a popular talking point, your melanin popping and all of this, like, we're into it and we're talking about it, but it's always been there. So how can we, the people who have the most of it, have been subjected to go through what we've gone through? It's because that we understand we don't have a child's interpretation of the universe. We understand that we need each other. We understand that we can't just kill each other. You know what I'm saying? And we understand that this is why we call the lower self, the higher self. This is where these terms came from. It's because we understand who we are. We understand what we need to do. Furthermore, we come into things like Gaga. This information come through melanated bodies. The Gaga, the God Almighty Grand Unified Theorem, and the modern definition of the origin of the universe is Gaga. I'm gonna give it to you again. The modern definition of the origin of the universe is Gaga. Gaga defines where the universe came from, where everything came from. This is Gaga. This is the supreme mathematics that we're gonna We're gonna try right now to break down. I'm gonna just scratch the surface, and we're gonna go in real quick. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is a common question. You know, where did everything come from? Where did the universe come from? And to break it down into a religious dogma will be to put you in a box to tell you because the Bible said so, or because the Quran said so, or because some mystical, magical shit says so. This is to put you in another box. I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think that that's productive. And for us to understand this information is for us to bring us power into our control. Just like Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein sought out his whole life for about, I would say, 30 or 40 years of his life to try to find these same answers. And he did not find it. He died in 1955 without completing his mission. Gabriel Oyibo, the founder of Gaga, solved that same problem, that mystery, in 1990. You see what I'm saying? So Gaga is old. Like we should have been had this information, but we now getting these downloads. So it's time for us to revive ourselves. So when we talk about the God Almighty Grand Unified Field Theorem, what field? The Grand Unified Theorem. We're talking about the field. So what field? You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when we talk about this field, we're talking about force fields. So when you talk about the universe, the first thing that comes into mind is motion, movement. But what is causing this motion? What is causing this movement? It's force. Force. There's forces at work, right? So, so far, modern science has only been able to identify 4 of those forces. If anybody could chime in and tell me 4 of those forces. Matter of fact, Don, can you give me 4 of those 4 forces that they've identified?
The 4 forces that who identified?
Modern science, mainstream science.
I have no idea, brother.
All right, well, that's good. That's good. We all about the learning. That's good. Okay, let me get my pen and pad together. Okay, so we're talking about the 4 forces that modern science has verified, right? Number 1 is gravity.
Oh, right.
Gravity. All right. Now, gravity, this gravity is what causes, yeah, there we go, is what causes day and night, right? Day and night, or night and day. Night and day. It's also how we get our seasons, right? Our seasons. This is motion. This is motion. Now, we can look in the sky and see the sun, see the stars, see the clouds, see, like we can see movement. Although you might even be standing still right now. You might be standing still right now, but you can still understand that you're moving. You're moving because we are made of cells. We are a cell made out of cells, living off cells, living on a cell. Cells don't just sit still. Cells not just sitting still, okay? The thing with cell is not just sitting still. You got the ribosomes, you got the lysosomes, you got the nucleus membrane, the mitochondria, you got all of these other components that comprise of a cell. They're not just sitting still. You know, we're inside of our own body, if you can understand that. Electromagnetism, that's my brother Francis. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so let's go. We got another one added. So gravity, right? Then after gravity, we'll put, my man Francis chimed in, electromagnetism. And Cool chimed in too. Electromagnetism. Right? So the electromagnetism, right? This is like, we've all played with magnets before, right? We've all played with magnets. So if you got a positive, right, next to a positive, what are they going to do? They're going to repel, right? They're going to repel. You see what I'm saying? That's repulsion. That's movement. That's movement. But what happens is when you add a negative to that, now they stick together. They stick together. And that force is the electromagnetic force. Those are the electromagnetic forces. All right. So after the electromagnetic force, right, we can see that with the let's say the lithium, right? Let's look at this. The lithium element, and we're going into the periodic table of elements, right? So lithium is number 3. Lithium is number 3. So it has 3 protons, 3 neutrons, and 3 electrons. All right. Now, we just showed you with electromagnetism, when you got 2 positives, they'll repel. So how can you have, you know, the proton and the electron, which are both positively charged? How are they still there? Like, how could, like, why aren't they repelling? Why aren't they, like, why isn't this element, this atom, why isn't this just exploding? And it's because there's a force that's keeping them together. See, these is pro, neutron, proton, neutron, proton, neutron. There's a force keeping them together. And that force keeping them together is what's called the strong nuclear force. Strong force. It's the strong force, right? This prevents motion.
And strong force the scientific name for it? The scientific name?
Yes, you can look that up.
Okay.
You can look that up.
I never heard that
one.
That one.
Yeah, this is about to go in. So what they say is, and this is what is so significant, that when they talk about the Big Bang, this is what a lot of people don't really understand because they don't really study the mathematics of this shit. We just look at the function, and it's important to understand the function, but what helps me a lot is to understand the details. You know what I'm saying? So when we get into the details, it kind of gives it a little more depth. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more texture to grab hold of it. So when they talk about the Big Bang, they talk about the 4 forces, and those 4 forces existing in one singularity, and being as though those 4 forces were so tightly compacted in one singularity, it gave birth to what they call the Big Bang, that explosion of these 4 forces that were so strong, you know, they couldn't be in the same single place. That singularity couldn't exist. It expanded. So Gaga, this grand unified theorem, this holy grail of mathematics, it mathematically explains all of that. So we're almost there. We got one more force, and then we're going to build something crazy off of this. And I just hope nothing blows up. But, you know, just like making some mac and cheese, this is us figuring it out before we actually go into the kitchen and whip shit up. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't just build some pyramids overnight. They didn't just say, oh, look at the triangle, it's thorough as shit, let's go put this shit together in the fucking... No, they studied it. They studied it and studied it and studied it and studied it and made sure they perfected it so thoroughly that when people went to look at it, they said, God built this. They said some motherfuckers came from space and built this. Although they got no evidence to support that. You know what I'm saying? They said,
man.
You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker came from space and built this. You see what I'm saying? Oh, look, Francis is on it. Look, that's right. The weak force. That's right. Now, the weak force is a little different. Let me explain the weak force real quick. But it's definitely the weak force. It's definitely right, Francis. That's my man. Weak force. And I'm going to show you how this information, our ancestors had this thousands of years ago. Thousands and thousands of years ago. Okay, so the weak force is caused because when these forces get together, right? When these forces get together, the strong force get together, it gives off what you call a radiation, not an alpha radiation, but a beta radiation. a beta radiation. Beta radiation. And they know this. They know this, dog. Like this is why when you go get, and this is called the anti-neutrino. This is why when you go to get like an X-ray, they put that lead vest on you. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like if you go get your teeth X-rayed or your head X-rayed or something, they put a lead vest on you because the lead vest it interacts with that weak force caused by the beta radiation. Now it just so happens this beta radiation is a cancer-causing force. This is analogous to the radiation that comes off of our cell phones, our televisions, our computers. This is what happened to Steve Jobs.
You said that's
this is what happened to Steve Jobs. This is the weak force.
So the weak force lets off beta. What is it? Beta what?
Beta radiation, and these are called anti-neutrinos. And this is what happened to Steve Jobs. This is why Steve Jobs passed away, because of these anti-neutrinos, this beta radiation that's caused from the cell phones, the TVs, the computers, all of that weak force radiation, the beta radiation that gives off, it interacts with our cells. It interacts with the elements, that's in our bodies. This is why this is why we didn't do this. It's why it's not that we didn't have the capability. We understood this already. So these four forces are the same thing that came out of the primordial waters of Nun. And you already know that was Amen and Amunet, Nun and Nunet, Ka and Kaket. Hold on. And Ha and Ha-Het. You see what that says?
Absolutely.
The Ankh. The Ankh. You see what I'm saying? The Ankh. This is what this is. So they already had a concept. They already knew about the unified field theorem. They already knew about this. This is why this had to come through us, because we already knew. The information was kept inside of our DNA, laying dormant and waiting for this time right now, for this age of Aquarius, for us to have the universe, the sun, the moon, and stars communicate with our melanin, with our melanocytes, with that sleeping God inside of you. You know what I'm saying? So right now we have a crossroads. Peace to the goddess. What up? We have a crossroads. We've reached the fork in the road. Now we either get to stay asleep, take the blue pill, go back to sleep, take the fucking blue pill, or we take the red pill and literally change the world. You see what I'm saying? So the people, and to answer the goddess who asked me this question, the people who stand to gain are the people who want to remain to hold on to the illusion of power, to the illusion of power that they had. You know what I'm saying? To the illusion of power. They only have power in our ignorance. In our ignorance, in us suffering from intellectual starvation and not having knowledge of self. You see what I mean?
Thanks.
So if you had knowledge of self, you wouldn't be out stabbing each other over a goddamn Popeye's chicken sandwich. You see what I'm saying? If we had that, we wouldn't be out shooting and killing each other. If we had that, we wouldn't be out selling poison to our families. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know a brother that sold crack to his mother. How the fuck could you do that? You know what I'm saying? It's because what they said, our people shall perish for a lack of knowledge. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, to understand what Gaga is, it is a geometrical map of the universe. a geometrical map of the universe. And this information is also what liberated those European Jews from their Holocaust and put them on high levels in society right now, affluent positions in society. Albert Einstein, when trying to understand this, he could only figure out those two forces, the gravity, right? Gravity and the electromagnetism. This is how he created that bomb, because the electromagnetism, it repels. So when you go to pump in, you know, the hydrogen, when you go to pump in the extra hydrogen atoms, they wouldn't stay together. It was unstable. So they exploded. This is how he created that atom bomb, the atom, the hydrogen atom. This is how he created that bomb, because he didn't have a full understanding of it. So when he combined these bombs, it interacted with these two forces, gravity and electromagnetism. And it's just like adding two positive ends. They're going to repel, causing this bomb, this atom, to explode. What Gaga did, Gaga not only unified all four of these, but it also brought into play forces that they did not even fucking know about. Because just like I said, the Ankh, although we can see these are four forces, it has its female complementary. This Amen and Amunet, Nun and Nunet, Kuk and Kuket, Ha and Hahet. So there's still another four forces that mainstream science is not even going to fucking tell you about. This is why they're doing the work that they're doing at CERN, to try to catch up to Gaga, to Gij, comma J equals 0. So this is the type of mathematics that we need to get into. All this other shit is just taking us back all the way up here. Like, look how far we came. Look how much we done came from just some basic arithmetic. And I skipped some shit. I definitely did. Like, we could have went more in the Pythagoras and the Pythagorean. Like, I ain't want to waste a lot of time there.
We have a whole video on that. We have a whole video on that on the YouTube.
You ain't never lied. So getting to the meat of the subject, this is what we got to do. And we got to start somewhere. It's not going to happen overnight. They didn't build the pyramids overnight. We didn't do this shit overnight. We studied and studied and studied and studied until we got it right. And the first thing we got to do is get up out of this compulsory education. And I know some people, as you know, we're still running late. Like, I teach my daughter myself. I don't allow my daughter to go to no school where somebody is stifling her growth. You know what I'm saying? And they're not aware of polymorphism count. They're not aware of, you know, what is dormant inside of her. They're not aware of that. I'm not going to let them teach my child. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So we have to take that same stance. We got to be serious. Like, we're now at a crossroad. We're at the fork in the road where we can either go back to sleep, take the blue pill, or we can really get it in, take the red pill, and get this shit popping. That's right. And everybody go donate to Gaga. I'm going to make a post. I just donated the other day. I just gave him $50 because this information is what we need. We need schools like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how we really liberate ourselves. And not just ourselves, but our children, our children's children. Because just like those European Jews, when they came out with E = MC squared, they were no longer put in the gas chambers. That you can't even find a story with somebody hurting a damn Jew. No more. You can't even find a Nazi on the planet. Well, at least not one that's out the closet. You know, we got some closeted Nazis. Shout out to Trump. And that's something that changed ever since they hitched their wagon to their intelligence. But we're promoting ourselves to be entertainers, athletes, drug dealers, straight up coons, trashmen, janitors. We can be anything but a genius. Like, we don't promote genius when we really are the geniuses. We really are the teachers, the educators, the leaders. That same information, those cells lay dormant inside your body, and they've been activated now by us coming into this Aquarian age. And the only thing that's prohibiting us, that's stopping us, is us damaging our DNA. And if you're within my voice, you're within the sound of my voice, this means you are chosen. This means you are chosen. If you can understand this, if you're hearing this message that we're giving about Gij, comma J equals 0, the supreme mathematics of the universe, and that this information has been laying dormant inside the cells of black people for over 25,000 years, this means this is for you. This means you are one of the chosen ones who have been chosen to wake up right now, to not let this information continue to lie dormant inside of your body, inside of your cells. You know what I'm saying? We got to really step in to our Godship. We got to step in and adhere to this God order. The universe is waiting for us, literally waiting for us. We like to talk about the ancestors. You are the ancestors. We like to talk about our elders. You are now the elder. You see what I'm saying? It's very, very important that we understand how malicious this is, because for, like, example, a woman is born, a baby girl, little girl is born with all of the ovate cells that she will have, with all of the potential children that she will have. She's born with that. And when they are born, they're giving them Similac, they're giving them candy, they're giving them all type of sugary shit. Go to the store and look at the poison that's designed just for children. It got nice little characters on it and cartoons on it. Your child just want it because it's a nice, colorful cartoon embossed package. And that is actually poison. And that poison will go to her cells, her ovate cells that don't even have an immune system. And not only poisoning and damaging that child's DNA, but every child that they can potentially have.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So it's up to us as the ones who are getting this information and are receiving this to act appropriately, to actually take action, to discontinue the intellectual starvation. You see what I'm saying? So it's up to us. We got to wake up. If you're hearing this message, if you're within the sound of my voice and you're receiving this information, it's your job. You are chosen.
Absolutely. And like I was saying earlier, man, each one reach many. The best form of marketing is word of mouth. You need to promote Gagut. You need to promote carbonation. You need to promote knowledge of self, right?
That's a fact.
You need to promote mental expansion, and not, like you said, being a all-star athlete and being a rapper and being a gangster and all that shit. We need to promote intellectual growth.
Well, see, I'm a little split with it, because I don't think that a rapper isn't a genius. I don't think that an athlete isn't a genius. I understand that your body is controlled by your mind. So if you're faster, this means you're smarter. If you can actually put together words at the drop of a dime, like, this means you're smarter. I'm just saying we shouldn't all of our stock, we shouldn't exercise all of our intelligence in just running up and down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we've been limited. We've been limited to having just those accessible to us. Like, imagine if LeBron James was let loose in the boardroom. Imagine if LeBron James was encouraged.
It takes one of them, man, just to snap.
Yeah. And those are the type of people we need. You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of people we need to reach. Like, I felt bad for, well, I did a little bit and I didn't. You know what I'm saying? For people like our brother Kanye West. And I don't want to believe that he's totally in bed with the white supremacists. I don't really want to believe that. I want to believe that the brother's passion is being misplaced. That's what I want to believe. You know what I'm saying? And he was bragging about making like $60 million or something back on his taxes or something like that. Imagine if we had that kind of power. Like Floyd Mayweather. The brother makes millions, hundreds of millions of dollars going and fighting people, getting punched all in the face. Imagine if we had a brother like that was behind this movement. Like, imagine. This is not like Muhammad Ali back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Who had the intelligence but didn't have the resources. Oh, man, they about to cut the live off. Yo, but look, God, good greetings, man. We'll go back in Tomorrow, if somebody wants some feedback, got some feedback for me, definitely hit us up, send us a message, and we'll connect back. We'll reach back out to you.
Absolutely.
All
You about
right.
to cut us off right now?
Yeah, we out.
All right, part 3's coming.